Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. It's week 7, season 3, 2024. We are back in the Formula V at Laguna Seca Raceway, and it's a warm track again, similar to VIR last week. Who knew that the US gets warm in summer, especially in California and Virginia? Anyway, this should be a fairly decent lap for this week. If you are new to the channel, what we do is I do a quick hot lap from the cockpit, and then we go back into the cockpit for a breakdown lap where I slow it all down, show you my braking markers, where I turn in, that sort of thing. And then we go back for a hot lap from the chase cam. And then for those of you that like the driving line on, I then show it once again with the driving line on at the very end. Anyway, all the chapters are described down below in the description. And let's start the lap. Right, so here we are. Let's start the lap. So going up the hill, through the turn 1 kink just here, over onto the left hand side, let your car drift out to the right hand side, in 4th gear, nice wide entry, get on the brakes, trail it off down to 3rd gear, lovely nice trail brake there on the telemetry, exit wide, get back over to the left hand side, looking for a big lift here, back on the gas nice and early, exiting wide without hitting the sand. Back over to left, up to 4th gear before this corner. Now the all-important turn 5. Get this right and you will win most of your races this week. So, short brake, on the gas nice and early, ahead of the apex. Really hang on to it. Carry all that speed, and if you carry all the speed you can do this. Change up to 4th just before the hill, the bridge. I can't speak, but you know that. Right, this is where you start getting sweaty, thinking about the corkscrew coming up. So, keeping it straight as possible on the hill. Get to the top, brake, down to 3rd gear, don't lose it. Everything gets nice and loose. Up to 4th gear, get real close over to the left hand side here. Back over to the left, just a lift here. If you nail it, you're thinking there's only one turn left for me to mess up. Yeah, nice brake. Down to 3rd, on the gas nice and early. Straightforward. So this is a 141.7. I have got a 141.2, which is on the screen now if you want to watch a faster lap. But I actually think I drove better in this. It was just a warmer track. Anyway, let's break it all down. Okay, let me show you these braking markers in slightly more detail. So obviously we're wanting to cut as close as we can to these cones on the left hand side, and we want to exit nice and wide out on the right here, and what we're looking for is this 2 marker that's coming up. So as we get there, we're going to start looking for the apex a little bit, and as you see, when I put on the brakes here, I come down off the outside, I'm braking in a straight line, so all of the speed is being taken off in a straight line. Obviously, we're trying to use all the grip to slow us down. Once we need to start using some grip to turn, that's when we start easing off the brake, and we go down, and we want to clip this first apex here. We're still on the brakes, we're still trailing it off, really trailing it off, making sure that you're keeping that car nice and balanced underneath you. And then once we get down to 0, that's when we're going to give it a nice blip of gas and jump down into 3rd. And immediately I'm on full throttle, as you can see. Car bogs down, cut, exit wide. And now we're looking to get over to the left-hand side for this. So it's midway between the 2 marker and the 1 marker. And all I'm going to do at that stage is I'm going to start turning in. And just as I turn in, I do a big lift down to about 20%, and now I start building back up on the throttle. I'm looking to cut as much of this corner as possible without hitting the sausage curb, and as you see, I'm back on 100% throttle, well ahead of the apex here. Exit nice and wide. You can use all of this rumble strip. I stay just in the track limits here without getting an off track. Get back over to the left-hand side here, and again, just before the 1 side, so halfway between the 2 and the 1, all I'm going to be doing is changing up to 4th gear and going flat out through this corner. And again, we're wanting to get as close to the sausage curb as possible without jumping it. back over to the right hand side. And this is the most important turn, turn 5. So again, it's just after the 2 marker, and what I'm going to do is a quick dab of brakes, quickly up to about 45-50%, and then immediately trail it off. I'm keeping a tiny bit of maintenance throttle on here. Now, I know Louis Foster would say stop driving with both pedals at the same time, but this is what I do. I drop it down to 3rd gear, and that's the reason why I've kept the maintenance throttle on, because if you dropped it down to 3rd gear at this point, at this speed, without any maintenance throttle on, your rears are just going to kick out and you're going to go spinny around time. So as soon as I get into 3rd gear, I'm getting back on the gas. So as you can see, I'm back on 100% throttle already here. So I've not even really begun to take the turn, and I'm back in 3rd gear on 100% throttle. So that's going to allow me to cut the corner nicely here using the rumble strip without going over the sausage curb, and carry all of this speed going up the hill. And that's really important because we want to change up to 4th gear just here, 134 kilometers an hour. That's 88 miles per hour roughly. So I'll leave it in slightly longer because we're going uphill. And now we're going to take this flat, and again we want to get nice and close to the sausage curb without hitting again. Exit nice and wide. I'm actually really upset I'm not going to be racing this week because I'm on holiday. So right, this is the important thing, the corkscrew. So we get to the top without having done any braking. Once we crest here, so you crest, as you can see, so it's midway between the 3 and the 2 marker. Once we crest, we're going to quick big dab of brakes. And you can only do that once your car is actually grounded again. So we do that, and then I immediately trail it off. And as I'm trailing it off, putting on some maintenance throttle. And as you can see here, so I'm in 4th gear still. Drop it down to 3rd at the apex. Get back on the gas. Immediately try and look for this single tree that I'm pointing at right now, right ahead of us. And I'm fully on the gas all the way down. Up to 4th gear, going downhill. I want to get right over to the left-hand side, get as close as you can to the sausage curb. Back over to the left here, and again, midway between the 2 marker and the 1 marker, we're going to do a lift, and we're going to start looking for the apex, and I'm starting to build back up on the throttle, and ideally, I want to be on 100% at the apex, am I? Oh, just ahead of the apex, happy days. Get over to the right-hand side. Now, normally, guys, I would say you want to be on this rumble strip to actually do your braking. But I find this rumble strip really, really slippy, and I always seem to miss the apex when I do so. So what I tend to do at Laguna is midway between the 2 and the 1 marker, as I am now, I actually keep all 4 wheels on the asphalt rather than using the rumble strip. And that's just so that I can use all of the braking force that the asphalt's allowing me without my car as wheels jumping up and down and losing me braking force. And then I'm going to trail it off down to the apex, dropping it down to 3rd gear once I blip the throttle here, and so that I'm back on 100% throttle at the apex. As I say, I do have a 141.2 that I've showcased here, but I think this was a better lap in terms of me getting the inputs right and doing everything. It's just slightly warmer track. Right, now we've got chase cam at full speed if you're still watching. Okay, one more time with the driving line on. Right, you guys, thanks for watching. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in the week. Thanks for all your support.